Hey everyone, welcome back to OC Outdoorsman. Well, today I'm at Raahauge's Pistol and Rifle Range. It's an outdoor range based in Corona, California, and my primary goal today is to zero in one of my pistols, one that I've had for over a year now that really needs to be zeroed in. Now here's a shot of the actual weapon. As you can see, it is in .44 Magnum and it is a performance center weapon. I took it out late last year on a boar hunt, but I shot it without the tactical sight that you're seeing there, so that is a Romeo 4. That's what I will be zeroing in today. And just for kicks, I brought along with me a couple of other weapons. That's a Sig P226, and that's a little .22 caliber pistol that I've never shot. It actually belongs to my wife, and she's with me today as well, so you'll get to see her shoot these weapons along with me. And there she is. She will also be serving as my camera person. Before we begin, let's take a closer look at these weapons. As you can see, this tiny pistol here, it's in .22 caliber, but look just how tiny it is in the palm of my hand. I think this is going to be difficult to shoot considering how small it is, but it's only a .22, so it shouldn't be too bad. This is my Sig P226. It's in 9mm. It's super accurate, super reliable. Love this gun. And of course you saw the Smith & Wesson 629 Performance Center Hunter Edition. And on top is a Sig Sauer Romeo 4 red dot sight, and next to the gun is my rangefinder that I'll be using to measure distances to the targets. Up first is Katie, and she has selected the Sig Sauer P226 to shoot with. Now, because it's a 9mm and the action here is semi-auto, the recoil is quite manageable, and for her it was by far the most comfortable weapon to shoot with today. Here's a better look at the target and the setup over at Raahauge's. Notice that the driveway marker there to the right of the target, I brought that with me. Now the reason I have it inserted adjacent to the target is because the rangefinder I own is actually a Pinseeker. I used to play a lot of golf, and that Pinseeker is a great rangefinder for distances to the hole when you're playing golf. But it works perfectly well for the target range. As long as I have that driveway marker, I'm able to accurately measure the distances to the target no matter where I am on the range. It's great. So I thought I had everything I needed today, but the one thing I forgot was a shooting rest, which I left at home. As a result, this is how I had to zero in my sight today, without a rest, standing up, aiming at the target, freehand if you will. It was tough. Now here's a different angle. Pay close attention to the muzzle jump as I pull the trigger. You'll see it's very slight. If you're familiar with the .44 Magnum caliber, it's known for its kick. Now, this particular model, the reason I really like it is because it came with a muzzle brake. In other words, the very end of the barrel is ported, which gets rid of much of that recoil. So this gun is actually a pleasure to shoot. Here I'm using the Pinseeker to change the distance to the target. 17 yards is just too far, especially since I'm trying to zero in this weapon without a rest. So I'm going to move in closer. At about 10 yards, my groupings were getting tighter. They were just over an inch, and they were low and slightly to the left. To make sure it just wasn't me, here's Katie's first attempt at shooting this big gun. This was her first experience shooting a .44 Magnum and using a red dot sight, so she did pretty well, all things considered. Her shots were landing just low of the bullseye, so these sights would definitely need to be adjusted. These Romeo 4 red dot sights are fantastic. As you can see by screwing off the cap, there's a little tool on the tip of it that enables you to adjust the windage and elevation without having to break out a screwdriver. Great, well-designed, well-engineered sights. With the adjustments made, time to reload and try again. I've now moved closer to the target and my groupings have improved, and I'm able to get 1 out of 6 shots into the red. But again, without a shooting rest, it's really too difficult to be consistent. This is no way to zero in a new scope. I end up putting away that good old 44 Magnum Smith & Wesson, and now I've switched to this 22 caliber pistol, and at first I was just trying to figure out how to properly hold this thing. Now, as you know, 22 caliber really isn't a very powerful round, but on such a tiny frame, you can actually feel the recoil. At one point, after shooting, it felt like the gun was going to fly out of my hands. It's just so awkward shooting such a minuscule pistol like this. But it was an interesting experience. So now it's time to pack up and head back to Orange County. It's always fun coming out to the gun range. And I forgot to mention, I did bring my you can see a lever action rifle there. I'm gonna have to do a review on that later. It's a Marlin 44 Magnum as well. It's a good deer/boar rifle. As you can see, I mounted an optical red dot sight on it as well. It isn't zeroed in, and I wasn't about to try zeroing it in today without a proper shooting rest. But anyway, hey guys, thanks for watching, and please give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again.